If you're building a physical product and assuming that simple design equals simple operations, you're about to get blindsided. I'm Adam Taven. Over the last 30 years and more than 2,000 products, I've seen this pattern repeatedly. An inventor builds a clean, simple product. At 100 units, it feels manageable. At 500 units, it feels exciting. Between 1,000 and 10,000 units, operational requirements explode. Your single product becomes multiple SKUs. Your simple bill of materials turns into a supplier web. Your basic assembly now requires version control across locations. The product design didn't change, but the operational infrastructure became exponentially more complex. And here's the part nobody tells you. That complexity gets embedded in your earliest development decisions. Once it's there, it's permanent. Let me show you how this actually unfolds. Point 1, the SKU multiplication reality. Inventors think one product, one SKU. That's fantasy. At 1,000 units, you need 3 SKUs, different packaging, maybe a color variation, possibly a bundle. At 5,000 units, you're managing 8 variations. Each SKU needs separate inventory tracking. And here's what that means. 2 to 3 hours per day just preventing mix-ups, because mixing components between versions creates liability issues. Your 4-component product, it becomes 47 part numbers, packaging inserts, regional labeling, color-matched hardware, market-specific compliance tags. Version control becomes mandatory because when assembly workers can't distinguish between similar-looking parts, customers get the wrong product. And then customer service complexity explodes. Your simple one-page instruction sheet becomes a 50-page troubleshooting manual covering every variation. This doesn't happen gradually. It happens fast. Point 2, the supplier coordination web. Most inventors assume suppliers just deliver parts. At small scale, maybe. At volume, impossible. What starts as 3 suppliers turns into 15, sometimes 25, because no single supplier handles everything at production scale. Lead times become your biggest operational killer. Some suppliers operate on 2-week cycles, others 16 weeks. Synchronizing those timelines requires daily coordination. Below 500 units, quality control means inspecting finished goods. Above 2,000 units, you're inspecting incoming components from multiple suppliers with different quality standards. And here's the real chaos. Component substitutions. They happen weekly at scale. Materials change, vendors switch tooling, availability shifts. Every change requires engineering review, testing, approval. Meanwhile, production waits. Minimum order quantities force you to carry 3 to 6 months of inventory for components with different usage rates. Now your cash flow is tied up in parts sitting on shelves. Your simple product, it's now an operational web. If you're starting to realize that your simple product could turn into a daily management nightmare, you're not alone. Most inventors hit this wall at only 1,000 units and wish they planned for it earlier. I've created a free strategy session that maps out these operational complexities before you're locked in the chaos. Go to rabbitproductdesign.com and see what you're actually signing up for. Point 3, the version control chaos. Inventors assume tracking revisions is simple. It's not. At 10,000 plus units, every component revision creates a cascade. Engineering change orders multiply. One part changes. Now 12 suppliers need updated drawings. They don't all implement changes simultaneously. You now have mixed revision inventory. Traceability becomes legally required at scale. You must track which components went to which finished products. If there's a defect, you can't just check the batch. You must identify specific serial ranges. Supplier communication about revisions can consume 4 to 6 hours per week. Just coordinating approval timelines, implementation dates, inventory transitions, just coordinating. And if a defective component slips through, at prototype stage, it affects 1 unit. At scale, hundreds. That's when operational chaos becomes financial damage. Point 4, the hidden coordination overhead. Here's what really shocks founders. Management doesn't stay simple. Daily operational tasks expand from 30 minutes to 6+ hours. Inventory management alone can become a full-time job. Tracking hundreds of components manually creates production stopping errors. Customer service evolves too. You move from occasional emails to systematic warranty processing, technical support, returns management. Now you need staff. Financial coordination becomes complex. You're juggling multiple supplier payment terms, inventory purchases, customer receivables, all on different cycles. Then regulatory thresholds kick in. At certain volumes, safety reporting, labeling, and compliance become mandatory. These requirements don't appear at 100 units. They trigger at scale. And by then, you're already committed. This operational complexity isn't a scaling problem. It's inevitably SKU multiplication, supplier coordination webs, version control chaos, hidden management overhead. They hit every product that reaches meaningful volume. And here's the truth most inventors miss. These complexities get locked in during your earliest design and supplier choices, not during scaling. During development, the only question is this: will you design for operational reality up front, or will operational chaos design your business for you? Most inventors discover these operational realities after they've already committed to suppliers and SKU structures that lock them into chaos. If you want to design your operational infrastructure correctly from the beginning, I offer free strategy sessions where we'll walk through your specific product and map out the supplier coordination, version control systems, and SKU management you'll actually need at 1,000 to 10,000 units. So book your free session at rabbitproductdesign.com. If you want to see the 4 critical checks that prevent these operational nightmares during product development, watch the next video where I break down my exact evaluation process. Click it now.